What's up, y'all? In the car, obviously. I'm driving to pick up the kids from school. Thought I would do a daily three. If you don't remember, daily three is just for like three things that I'm working on today, talking about today, thinking about today to help you, grow your business, save some money on taxes, do all the things. Right. Before I get into the daily three, a reminder. I'm Christopher Small. I'm the owner of Big Bird Accounting. If you're a law firm owner, you need help with bookkeeping and tax strategy, you should talk to us because we're really good at it. Okay, bigbirdaccountng.com. Super straightforward. We can chat for free. I'll show you what we can do and see if we can help you. Okay, we do flat fees, no contracts, and we're really good at it. So, with that being said, the daily three. I think number one. So I do a podcast with one of my buddies. His name is Keen. Every Tuesday, and once a month we do it in person. Today we did it in person, and there was another guy there. His name is Chris Stewart, and this dude is like super, super, super successful. He's owns an investment company. He owns multifamily properties. He does a whole bunch of different stuff, and it was a super fun conversation. One of the things that we talked about towards the end of the our podcast, which was like about 2 hours, was happiness. How do we define happiness? And I think that it's something I've thought about for a long time, and the definition is really straightforward for me, and I wanted to share it. And I want to encourage you to try to think about what happiness means to you, what you're striving for, what you're trying to do, why you have your business, and that's what all this is for. Saving taxes is fun, and nice to have extra money in your pocket. But if you're not happy, like who cares? So happiness for me, I've always defined as time freedom, location freedom, and money freedom. And and the idea of freedom, I think, is different for everyone. For me, obviously, with all those things, I want to be able to just spend time with my family. I want to be able to do things that I want to do when I want to do them, and I want to not have fears around money. Thankfully, I've been able to build that with my law firm and with Big Bird Accounting, and you just continue to strive and reach for those things. Location freedom is probably something that haven't achieved completely yet, but that's part of what I'm working on. So that for me is happiness. Being able to do what you want, to enjoy what you're doing, to be in charge, and feel like you have control over your life and the decisions that you make. That's why we open businesses. Because it gives you that freedom. So think about happiness in the context of your own life, what that means for you, and then start working to create that happiness, right? Obviously. So that's number one. Number one of the daily three. The second thing that we talked about a little bit, and this will come back to the third thing as well, is I've been spending quite a bit of time on my Facebook ads, both for the law firm and for Big Bird Accounting. Facebook ads is kind of an art, but it's definitely a skill that everybody can learn. If you don't know how to run your own ads, you should definitely be, I think, learning that, experimenting with that, trying it out, creating some videos just like this, putting them out there to the world, and letting people know that you exist, because there's a lot of noise out there, and if you are not putting yourself out there, then it's going to be impossible for anybody to find you. So with that being said, one of the things that is limiting, I think, the growth of both of my businesses is not an inability, but sort of a fear to spend more to advertise. Okay, because we have ads that are working, we have a strategy that is working. We are getting clients, and we're doing all these things, and it's a lot of fun. But there's room for more growth. There's room for more people to help, and spending money on advertising is one of the ways to do that. The limitation, the for me, is really fear around spending money. Okay, everybody has their own money story. Everybody has their own things that they're worried about. And for me, I have always been afraid to sort of go outside of my comfort zone when it comes to that. So, am I talking about being risky? Absolutely not. Am I talking though about being smart and reinvesting in the things that I know will work? Absolutely. So, one of the things that I'm doing today is basically just like hitting the increase budget button on my Facebook ads. So that's pretty straightforward. Once you do that, then obviously you should see more clients, you should see more booked appointments, you should see more of all of that stuff. And I'm hoping that that's the case. If it's not, then we'll adjust. We probably won't adjust the budget down. We'll probably just try new ad creative, which is the name of the game. Okay, you have to experiment with different ideas, different ads, different formats, and find stuff that works. And when it works, you stick with it, and you just keep doing that over and over and over again, basically. So that is the second thing. Is know your money story, make good choices with that money story, and push through your money story boundaries. Those are some of the number one things that I would say. Um, and then the third thing of the daily three is going to be figuring out what is your money story. So we talked a little bit about this in our conversation in the podcast, but we all have relationships with money. We all, I think, have some limitations based on those money stories. Like when you were a kid, did you ever hear your parents say, money doesn't grow on trees? We can't afford that. We're not those type of people. These different types of things. Or money is abundant. We can always make more money. I mean, there are different money stories that everybody has. And spend it before it's gone, is maybe another one. Or save it for a rainy day is another one. So I think it's really important to try to figure out, what is your money story, and is it there are good things about it, and there may be some things that are holding you back by your money story. So you want to try to push through those limitations and find a new level of growth. A lot of tax strategies, by the way, involve investing and spending money. Like buying a new car, I wouldn't consider it an investment, but I definitely would consider it spending money. If you have a lot of extra profit, maybe you deserve a new car. Okay, maybe you never thought to yourself, oh, I can't have a nice car, and you go do that, and then you get tax benefits from that. Obviously, maybe a lot of what we're doing that I've been talking about in the past videos and that we're working on still is real estate investing. But to invest in real estate, you're going to have to write a check for that property, and that can be scary. Some people would rather just keep that money in a savings account and not risk losing it. But instead of hiding it away, you can invest it smartly, you can invest it wisely, and you can invest it safely in a way that will, give you a return on your investment, that will help you build uh, wealth, that will help you save on taxes, do all the things. So figure out what that money story is, right? That's it. Daily three, I think, for today. That was a good one. Once again, if you're a law firm owner and you need help with your books, bigbirdaccounting.com. Okay, I own a law firm. We really only work with law firms. We are super good at what we do, process driven. We make things easy. When you reach out to us, we get back. We meet our deliverables on time, every time, and we'll help you save some money on taxes too. So, we're reasonably priced, believe it or not. All right, that is it. Have a good one. See ya.